I think we got the Sultan Qaboos Prize for our research at Sinharaja, and we received the prize in 1997. Ours was a team with the Forest Department, overseas collaborators and ourselves. And this 20-year period, the research that we carried out, I can say that it falls into three aspects, and I will just briefly tell you what these aspects are, the results of them. And the first of them was, we started in 77 and the forest was being logged, and therefore we wanted to find out the impact of the logging on the native species within the forest, especially our endemic species. The studies done revealed that 60% of the trees in the forest, tree species in the forest, were endemic to Sri Lanka. That is only found in Sri Lanka and in the lowland rainforests. And the volume of wood that was available in these trees was over 70 to 80%. So that was even higher. And what was very striking also and very important was that 40% of the species that we found were very, very rare, because they were found, each species was found in very low densities in the forest. So that was our first results of our first study. And then the next three studies we devoted to finding out how we can grow native species and the endemics, and also the non-timber forest species, which are very important from the point of village life. And so we looked at the seedling biology and the conditions required for their growth. Because once the forest was made a conservation forest, after the logging was stopped, the villagers were restricted in coming into the forest freely, and they couldn't collect what they had been collecting from the forest. But if we planted these NTFP species in the periphery of the forest, in the buffer zone, then they would easily harvest their products from the perimeter of the forest. So that was it. And the second component was the canopy tree species. We want to plant them in the peripheral areas which were degraded, and therefore if we found out the conditions required to bring them up in the peripheral areas, then we could recreate the species in the natural forest outside the forest in degraded areas. Because it is only in this part of the country, the lowlands, and in the whole world that these species are found, and we want to conserve them because their habitats were being fragmented and degraded as well as decreased. And the last one, of course, was because of the fragmentation of forests, rainforests particularly, we want to connect up these fragments, small fragments, so that their viability and sustainability is restored. We want to put them into degraded areas like fernlands, grasslands and shrublands, and connect the good forest patches. So I think the Sultan Qaboos Prize we received was for all these species, and we were very happy that we had received the prize after 20 years of hard work.